Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video to the channel. So it's been a little bit of a while since we've done a money making guide or money making video. So I thought now is a good enough time to throw one out on the channel. And today we're going to be looking at smelting. Now, smelting and smithing in general was probably the go-to skill at the beginning of this year and dropped off quite hard. Like smelting some of the bars was insane profit for a long period of time. Could be upwards of about 8 to 10 mil. Now, over the course of a year, the prices have dropped. They've been a little bit like to a point of not worth doing. But for the past couple of months, they've slowly been rising up, and we're going to go and cover 4 of the mid to high tier bars today to show you guys that it's a very good method, especially to AFK, in smelting the bars as well. Now, the bars we're going to cover range from level 60, 70, 80, and 90. We're going to pretty much cover orichalcum all the way up to Elder Rune to cover GP ratio you can expect per hour for doing your smelting needs. Now, before we go into that, there are a couple of items which are going to make your life a little bit better. Now, with smelting and smithing in general, like your levels are very different now. So for each tier of bar, there comes a certain level where you have an extra chance to make a bar. And that is very important because that's going to basically make you more profit. So we're going to take orichalcum for an example. So level 60 is what you need to make orichalcum. But the best way and best level to do orichalcum is going to be at a minimum level 62. Because level 62 will give you a chance to make an extra bar of orichalcum. However, there are also some buffs in that range between 60 and 70 where you make at level 65, you can then smelt your bars 50% faster. And you've also got the chance to make that extra bar. So not only are you making extra bars, you're smithing quicker. When you smith quicker, you make more bars per hour, and that means you're going to get more of a chance to make extra bars per hour. So and just keep that sort of in line that you might be 70 smithing and it might be better for you to make orichalcum as opposed to necronium. Check the skill guide, see what level you are, see what buffs you can get as well, because sometimes a lower tier will make you better profit. So what we're going to go and do is just, as always, have a nice little grand exchange video. We're going to go through the prices first because I think that can determine like what you're going to do beforehand. I have some of the wiki rates for GP, but as I always advise, always check the margins because something could be selling under mid, whereas a lower tier or a high tier item can always be selling over mid. So we want to focus on our prices first, and then I can run through the numbers which the wiki is going to sort of suggest as a rough guideline anyway. However, the items which I mentioned a little bit earlier on about the smelting of the bars and what's going to make you some more GP over time are going to be things such as the smelting gauntlet. So this is from the family crest. This is very important because it makes smelting a lot more AFK. Now, to smelt ores and stuff like that, you store ores in your furnace. Your furnace is where you create the bars. Now, if you don't have the gloves, you're going to only be able to make 28 bars at a time and they're going to come into your inventory. If you have the smelting gauntlets from family crest, you can make 60 bars at a time, but it goes directly into the furnace. So you're not having to bank, you're making more bars per interaction, and they're going directly into the furnace. Now, you can also get the blacksmith outfit. You can get this from the Artisan's Workshop when Treasure Hunter eventually goes. You could have got it from double XP, but I don't think there'll be a chance to do that anymore. The augmented hammer. Now, the reason why this is good is because you can use things like Prosper and Fortunate Free as perks, which are pretty decent. The Orphan Furnace Core, which is an item I don't have personally, but is going to be something I'm going to go and gather over the next year because I think it's very beneficial, especially to things like fire making, crafting, and also smithing. Now, if you don't have the Orphan Core, what you can use instead is the Grace of the Elves, the Ancient Ritual Shard, and the Super Prayer Renewal as well. So what you want to use, if possible, is the super heat form, because what that will do is make bars a tick faster. Again, not massive, but if you can do it, it will just mean you can make some more bars per hour. Right, so I think that's all the items in terms of that. And again, we'll do a couple of bars smithing, but you don't need to see me smithing for all the different methods because all you're basically doing is standing at a furnace. But the absolute minimum requirement I'd really suggest you guys go and do is the Family Crest quest. Those smelting gauntlets are a game changer for what can be a very, very good like money making method and something which can be very beneficial if you work from home or if you want to do stuff on the side. So the first one we're going to check is orichalcum. So we're going to go and check the bar. Actually, let's just see if we can find them on the bar tab. So orichalcum. Orichalcum has been very funny, like with all the other bars, but as a tier 60, it's one which can be used quite a lot. So 6.8k is what the current price is. So that is significantly down from its mid price. And again, you want to be checking this throughout as well because you want to be selling them for the maximum. So something we find on these videos quite a lot is flips. So not only have we found that the price is below mid, but you've also got a 1.7k flip there. Yes, it can be a little bit risky because they're already under mid price already, but there's definitely a deal to be had there as well. Also as well, if you can spot out what a video is going to come to you guys very, very shortly, we're going to be doing some tech compasses and hopefully we can make some money off them as well. So necronium is going to be the next one. So this is going to be tier 70 for necronium. Now, necronium and Elder Rune have normally and historically been the better ones to do. Don't know why, there's no real reason to it in terms of the Necronium stake, but that looked to be over mid. So yes, this one is over mid, and over mid by 1.6k. And again, this is why you check your margin. So for me, as a main account, I could do the Elder Rune bars because I've got the smithing level to do it. But with those kind of margins and those kind of prices, Necronium could quite happily outperform it. Not only that as well, again, this is another decent flip, 1.2k per bar there, very, very good. Now, the next one we're going to look at is going to be Bane. And once we've done this, we'll go and look at all the ore prices as well, because I think it'd be very good to see if it still works in terms of profit. Bane is going to be a price of 12.3k. Wow, that is very much over the mid price. That is a huge, huge profit there. And then finally, we're going to go and have a look at Elder Rune. So really, the way it's going in a minute, it could be the case of the Auric Outcome is the only one which isn't really performing, but 14.5k for an Elder Rune bar is actually really not bad. That's going to be a little bit over mid as well. Nothing compared to the previous two, but again, it's still going to be like 300 coins over its mid price. Now, going off the wiki currently, the prices per hour for all these bars. So we're going to have Auric Outcome at 3.8 mil profit per hour. Necronium at 5.8 mil, we have Bainite at 3.4 and Elder Rune at 6.5. If you can get the materials for the Bainite bar, it's a decent price. It's 2 Bainite ores. You can make a lot of profit there. But what we'll do now is we'll go through each tier of the ores for the bars and just see what the prices are like and if it's going to be some decent profit, because we know roughly how many we're going to make per hour is going to be about 2,000. So once you know the profit per bar, then you can work out like how much it's going to be in terms of GP per hour. So I'm going to go for a rough amount of about 2,000 bars per hour just to work out a rough guess of what the profits are going to be. And what I'm going to do really quickly, just so you guys don't have to watch it, I'm going to buy all the ore prices again. Most of these bars require 2 ores to do it, so it's going to take a little bit of time to buy the ore prices, and then we'll run through really quickly on what the profit's going to be afterwards. Right, okay, so that's all the supplies bought. So if we're going to go do some very, very rough, quick maths, an Auric Outcome bar is going to take 6.1k worth of resources to buy, which at the price we've sort of price checked on the higher end, you can still make 700 GP, and that's without the extra bars you're going to get as well. Don't forget, you're going to have a 10% chance to make an extra bar. So 200 extra bars per hour, and again, very similar to Herblore and other methods, it's what extra you make can be your profit. So Auric Outcome is still pretty decent at the current ore prices as well. Now, Necronium requires a Necrite and a Phasmite ore. They're roughly going to be a price of 7,000 coins each. And for the 9.9k bar price, that is very, very good as well. So that's going to be 2.9 mil you're going to make per bar. So 2,000 per hour, let's just say it's going to be 6 mil. But then also you're going to get an extra 200 bars on top of that. That can be even more profit on top. So really a Necronium bar could be upwards of about 8 mil profit per hour. Now, Bainite is a really easy bar to do. You only need 2 Bainite ores to go and make it. That's going to come in at a price of 8.8k. But if we just say 8.9 for ease of like sort of working things out, you're going to be making a profit roughly of about 3.4k per bar. Again, 2,000 per hour, that's going to make you 6.8 mil. And then if you have 200 bars of that price, that's going to be another 2.4 on top of that as well. So again, really, really good profit there. Now, the Elder Rune bar is going to require slightly different. It's going to need the light and dark Amica as well as a rune bar as well. Now, the rune bar, I'm going to work at 5,000 coins, and for ease of access, the Amica is going to be about 9,000 coins each. So 14,000 coins for an Elder Rune bar. You're going to make roughly about 1,000 coins per bar, but the good thing with the Elder Rune bar is because it's so expensive, every time you get an extra rune bar from your sort of 10%, you're going to make a lot of profit. So 200 bars at the Elder Rune bar price is going to be 3 mil on top of that as well. So I'd probably say that's going to be about 5 to 6-ish mil. So the ones which really stand out and are really different and are going to make you more money are going to be the Bainite and Phasmite. And this is what I sort of say, that the wiki is always only ever a guideline. Whenever I make videos on it, this is why I check the margins, because prices are very different. The Grand Exchange can sometimes be very rigid, and because the wiki sort of pulls the data from the Grand Exchange, it kind of feeds in with that as well. So whenever you do a money making video, whether it's from one of my guides or from the wiki itself, check your prices because you can find something better. Not only that as well, from this video, we've found sort of 2 to 3 flips where you can make a lot of profit. So while you're actually like smelting these bars, you can be flipping them on the Grand Exchange as well and making money on top of that. And it's that kind of interactive and keeping an eye on these prices from doing all these money makers, which I'm trying to show you guys as well, just what different ways for you guys to make some more money. Now, in terms of like making bars, you've all done it before, but we'll do it really quickly. In my opinion, the best place to do it is for from free, because if you wanted a little bit of a buff from like the cores and stuff like that, World 84 can be of use. And also, it's probably one of the quickest ways to go and bank to a furnace I've found. Even though for a furnace, you're pretty much just going to be sat there because you've got the gauntlets. But if you don't have the gauntlets and you still want to do some smelting and you're going to go and run back and forth to a bank, this is going to be the best way for it. But if you want a little bit of an XP boost, World 84 can provide that as well. Now simply, all you need to do to make a bar is just click on the bar out of the tab of the ore smelting section. Because I have the blacksmith gauntlets, which are working as the goldsmith gauntlets, all I simply need to do is click begin project, and all these bars are not going to come to my info. They simply get put into the storage. So again, really AFK, as you can see, 1.5 minutes of time I can just be sort of making these Elder Rune bars. And also as well, you'll see that it'll come into the chat, you'll have a chance of making some extra bars. But smelting is very, very chill. Definitely a really good way to make some cash. Definitely something to do while you don't have to have all your attention on the screen. And yeah, so that is going to be our money making video for today. It's nice to get back into them. I think next year we're going to come out with some more, maybe more detailed, maybe more structured, maybe a bit more of a plan for it. But that's going to be my Christmas task to do, is to focus in and dial in on the kind of guides and the kind of information you guys want to see. I'm trying to sort of focus in and dial in the guides a little bit more, just so it matches what you guys want when you come and click on a video. But I'm going to wrap the video there. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I really hope it's helped you guys out. Thank you guys so much for watching, liking, subscribing. It really has helped me out. Thank you guys so much for your support for this month. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon for the next video.